Yeah, I feel really bad that I didn't acknowledge John's birthday. I wasn't even thinking about it because he'd given me a gift on his birthday. It's kind of like when I got rid of my Camaro on my birthday. So Jonathan gave me a gift on my birthday. I mean, on his birthday, and I got so consumed with that gift that because you got to do a little bit more work. But I mean, birthdays aren't. It's not really that important. Like I don't. I wouldn't get offended if people didn't remember my birthday. I would understand, even if my wife forgot it, because who are you to be important that people have to remember your birthday? Is the way I would look at it. But I understand also that it's not fair because even though I'm not good at playing the piano, but I still pianoed "Happy Birthday" to Steve. I think I did. I even get on the right day, or was I 2 days early? Either way, I didn't even take notice, and then I heard Johnny say, "Thanks for all the cards and the presents and stuff. Yeah, thanks a lot for everybody that remembered my birthday." I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot all about it. And then I went and looked at this paper, and I'm like, that's crazy because I received it on 3/16, and what I received was a kind of like a badge, And I remember asking specifically for the person that runs the Department of Justice, can you just kind of like send me a badge or something so it makes it even. Here's what it does. Instead of just going in the store knowing you're going to get harassed and the cops are going to get called on you, there's nothing you can do but record and show that they're going to kick you out of the store. No. This is a little bit different. It's a little bit different because this is evidence that we already had this problem. I was already here standing with a different officer at a different time explaining the same exact thing to the officer that I didn't press charges on because, well, he didn't lock me up because I didn't allow him to. But if he did, this is what would have happened. And if you choose to do what he was ready to do, all I'm telling you is this will take place, and then you suffer the consequences afterwards. This is more of a badge to freely go into the stores, and when they try to pursue the issue of you putting a mask on, it's not going to work on this end because here's the evidence right here. So thanks, John. I appreciate the good news. It ain't about receiving gifts, is it? It's not. So I don't feel too bad that I didn't at least say happy birthday to John, because I did last year. And you know what I did last year when I said happy birthday to him? I said that today the Dow Jones is going to go up like 3,000 points. And then that's exactly what happened right before the bell rung, because that's what Johnny did on his birthday. He rang the bell, and the bell that was rang on the Dow Jones average on that day, it went up 3,000 points. Yep. And I made the video beforehand proving it. That's what I said beforehand. Before the bell rang at work, I remember. And I said happy birthday to John in the video. And from that point on, I think some other things might have happened. So yeah, I feel, I'm sorry for forgetting about it. It's just the gift that you gave me was so great mentally because it's the step in the right direction. If nothing else, it's just a step in the right direction. It's another wavelength of energy that is something that I think about, and it feels good. Because then I go rewatching more of my videos from the time, all the stuff I put together. My goodness. It's more than just, I mean, it is. It's more than just, you're denied services. It's more than that, because there was threats, there was taunting, there was harassment, I mean, you're not being singled out. Look, everybody's wearing a mask. The boss walks by without the mask on as he says that on cue, as I'm talking to him. There was too much going on that was caught on camera. So, it's a little bit more than just that. And I don't know how this thing works. But when they got 30 days to come up with a remedy on John's birthday, I'm gonna kind of tie it into where, when I gave my car back on my birthday, I wasn't looking to receive a gift. I was looking to give back, even though I couldn't afford it. I mean, even though it was theirs anyway. Even though I was like far behind on the payments, but so what? 9/10 of the law is possession. And if it was in my possession, obviously they couldn't do anything about it when it's in your garage. So, at the time. But anyway, the point is, I gave it back on my birthday, and I received a gift on John's birthday. And I didn't even say happy birthday to him. So it kind of makes me feel bad. It does. Because he gives me a gift on his birthday. I forsake his birthday. No, it wasn't even doing it on purpose either. There was no plan behind it. I know, Jonathan Kleck ain't even listening to you, Rob. Who freaking cares? You're talking into the wind. The way that this thing works. So, who's Lucifer? Who is Lucifer? In the Vatican, do they sing to Lucifer? Like, there's people that watch my video who sings to Lucifer. Do you know who he is? Where Lucifer's at? Do you know what part of the world he's at? What building? It's in the shape of a snake. Obviously there's a literal manifestation somewhere, and then there's the spiritual mystery. This is the mystery. It's Mystery Israel. Where's Mystery Israel? Well, one candidate would be Philadelphia, because it's the angel of the Church of Philadelphia will have a little bit of strength left when, something happens in Philadelphia. And because there's a little bit of strength, it's Philadelphia. They have, from the 1.9 miles from the William Penn building to Anna DeCrino or something at the Philadelphia Art Museum at the top. The streets, that path that goes Benjamin Franklin Parkway, it has a bunch of flags, representing all the countries, and the first flag is Israel, right there. I believe it's even at U2. The symbol, the number U and 2 is right there at where Israel is. And it's because it has an art museum made out of a snake. There's also another snake right next to it. It's a female snake, because the art museum itself has the crown coming up, rising up from the sea. The female is right next to it. It doesn't have a crown, but you can see that. So that's also the male and female. Happy birthday, Jonathan. It's the male snake with the crown and the female snake right next to it. And it's like what'd you call it? The alligator? Scorpion? Dragon? reptile. I forgot what. I heard you say it today. But that's also climbing up because it has the reptile foot. The reptile foot in the seat, right where Boathouse Row is. And then the whole landscape, snake eating its own tail, the male-female reproductive, the whole thing is just so crazy. That's right there. And so if anybody's singing to Lucifer inside of that building, there's a possibility that the building itself isn't really like the top part. That's the museum. Is it open? Not sure, but that's like the top part. And then as above, so below. When you go below ground of the Philadelphia Art Museum, and then you have audience hall next to it. Like underground, it's a mirror image of what's above. And then because the world is made with buildings and places underground, because I think they built that first and then they built on top of it, and that's just the way the earth was made, because we're down here anyway. So you start somewhere and then you start down here and then do another layer on top of that, and then that's where we are. So if people are singing to Lucifer in that building, and the only window that's open, if that was like behind that window was down and that altar was in front of that, because that rock is outside at the Philadelphia Art Museum, underneath of where all the family is, the snake, the owl, the creature climbing up, the guy, and then the woman next to him, and then some other person. So that window that's right there, what if behind that window was like the altar itself, the top part, the light, and then down there, because it's 33 feet, I think, below ground, and that whole system is down there in the ground. So what if that was true too, and there was no way to find that out ever? It's gonna die on me if I plug it in. When I plug this in, the battery's going to die, and when I plug it in, it's going to connect to the auto tune and it just cuts off. So be it. So happy birthday, Jonathan Kleck. Is this your 19th year? Isn't Babylon getting taken over or something this year? Or King Nebuchadnezzar's taking it? Or was he already 7 years? Somewhere around. We're either at the beginning, the middle, or the end, or all three. Because Eve was taken from Adam, and Lucifer, it's like God had to have created Lucifer in a sense where, even though Lucifer was like the mindset was first, and then God formed him because of the old way and the new way, how he's able to get his creation and God's creation to mix with the toes, the 10 of them, the clay mixed with iron. They're going to mingle themselves. One side's going to be stronger, which would be the older serves the younger. So Esau serves Jacob. That because Jacob's the one that wrestled God. Esau didn't. But Esau was the one that gave up the birthright to Jacob, right? For a bowl of soup. Is that why they worship the virgin? Like, did he give up his spark of life? Was the serpent more subtle than the others because the serpent was in Eve and Eve deceived Adam, but then it was a clever thing that happened because then Eve was able to communicate with God after the fact? Or was the serpent just some snake on the ground that knew how to talk to human beings? Or was it a trick? Did Adam get trapped because he's the one that fell asleep and technically he never woke up? Or did he wake up? And the love story is that Adam and Eve, they get back together as how they like keep it in the family. It's the twin system, like the brother and the sister. The sister never altered anything, but the brother did. The brother's the one that fell for the trick because the serpent was beguiled Eve, and then Eve was like, hey Adam, you want to do this thing? It's a host body system. The whole world will be yours. But see, Satan offered Christ the entire world. All he wanted him to do was just worship him. That's it. Throughout this whole pandemic and this whole thing, it's just one time. Come on, just put the mask on. That's all you got to do. Come on, just one time. And then we'll give you other accolades after that. And then throughout the whole entire system, when it completely fails, it didn't fail though. The vision of the evil plot did, but God's true vision of it didn't fail. And that's why Lucifer is the light bringer, because Lucifer is the one that brings the light. Yeah, he brings the light with God's angels and gets them all trapped and the burning city and the altars, the Vatican. The light at the top is the burning part when you're standing there. It's roasting over an open fire, that kind of thing. The altar, St. Peter's altar, where the chair goes up and then the round light, that's the light. But when you zoom out, your St. Peter's gets burnt at the tip, and that's the fear, and that's why there's the turtle. I guess it's the turtle. Oh, is that why there's turtles there too? In the center of the Garden of Eden, Logan Square, there's 3 unclean frogs, and I think there's 3 turtles too. I didn't even think of that because the turtle, his head goes. Yep, that's why turtle. That's it. Yep. It's a mystery. It's the whole setup is, the landscape is in Philadelphia, and it's showing you what it is. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. So whoever Lucifer is there's a lot of people that worship and sing to him. Matter of fact, there's 2 different songs, because it's looking like there's 2 different beliefs of who Lucifer is. And if there's 2 people that look identical, except for what happened with either the tree of life or there never was one, or what Adam did, because Adam's the one that fell, right? Adam fell. Eve was beguiled by the serpent, the idea. These were conversations up in Eve's head, and then the serpent idea came to Eve, and then Eve's like, hey Adam, you want to try this thing? And Adam's like, yep. So Adam did that. It all manifested literally. It's true. That's what they thought, that in order to get born again, you needed to get inverted, born again, and it has nothing to do with that going to heaven. Unless you're trying to go to literal heaven, then that's true. Because see, that's the thing. It's true in that aspect. Only if you can see it in that direction is it true. But to get to the kingdom of heaven, yeah, it has nothing to do with altering your flesh whatsoever. Not a thing. No circumcision. Nope, nothing. Circumcised of the heart on the 8th day. It's been 3 years since that person is in charge. It's 3 years. Easter. There's two Lucifers being sung to, two different songs, two different ideologies, same goal, except for when Eve gets taken from Adam, because God puts deep sleep on Adam and takes Eve from him. A house divided is fallen. And then there's the interpretation that Eve was literally taken, a rib from Adam, and the creation, and somehow formed by an actual rib and then flesh and blood. But that's, again, you can't really do that. But I think the Elohim gods can make man in their image. The man. So the man in their image would be man and woman, full man, but then you do the operation, and then one way or another, you, from the outside, you can't see it anymore. You either take your kids and go up north, or it's a dead sheep, or it's a dead sheep with its tongue sticking out, or it's a split head, or it's definitely Lucifer's creation. And it's something that is revealed now. So when people are singing to Lucifer, Lucifer is the one that's supposed to bring the light. Lucifer is God's boy. Yeah, it is. He is. Lucifer is. Because, hey, look, it's free will. You realize after the fact, when your dad's trying to teach you a lesson, and you're like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to do it my way. And you go and do it your way. And then you find out in the end that your dad was just trying to look out for you. He loves you anyway. And he still was trying to just help you out so you can learn things a little bit easier instead of going through the hard way. But the best way to do that is you find out on your own. And then when you turn back, the prodigal son, you realize how much you love your father, because he did allow you to do free will. There was no force. And then you realize after you're done and you turn around, you find a greater appreciation and love for that spirit that was trying to help you out. And so luckily that thank God that Satan is in position to listen, so that way the Spirit of God can dwell through and start to change his DNA. And then this DNA is created by this. And then you want to repopulate the world with that type of DNA. Because a lot of people are doing the turtle. And because if not, it's going to look like if not, here's the thing. It's going to look like this. Come on, Heidi, get out of here. I can't tell if you can even see it. But it was inside the porta potty. And what it looks like is it just looks like it looks like a double tower and a burnt head split. Interesting. That's at my job there. What beast got a wounded head and did live? What beast got a wounded head and did live? Well, isn't that the serpent? Didn't the serpent's head get wounded? And then power is given unto the beast But there's a beast that was given power to act for 42 months already. And but at the halfway point, there's a wounded head. And then the spirit of God takes over. So whoever's in charge, well, they stay in charge because they're the ones that